From creating 80s hits to creating incredible home renovation projects, Vanila Ice brings the bling and a new season of the Vanila Ice Project premiering July 15th on the DIY Network. Love the DIY Network. Post a photo of your best or worst DIY projects on social media. Tag them with hashtag DPDIY Projects. DPDIY Projects, and we'll retweet our favorites. Vanila Ice joining us here in the Man Cave. How you feel?
Yeah, man. Good to be here. Thank you.
When you first started this, what was the reaction from people?
Well, when I first started the TV show,
Yeah.
because, I've been in construction over 23 years, and I got a GC license that long ago. I went to design school about 18 years ago, and most people didn't hear about it until I came out with the TV show. The TV show is now running 7 years, 7 seasons, and I mean, at first people were like, is this really Vanila Ice doing these houses? And, it's not new to me. So I had been doing it for a long time, but for the public, it was amazing because it was at the time when we had just gotten through with all this housing crunch and foreclosures and short sales. It was just bad news everywhere you heard about the housing market and how it affected the economy worldwide. So I would walk through the airports and it would inspire people. People coming up to me telling me that, hey, I'm finally going to put a kitchen in. I'm going to raise my family here. My kids are going to run up and down the street here on their big wheel, and then maybe I'll renew my vows with my husband or wife. And a house is supposed to be the American dream. And because of the economy and the way the housing market went sour, it kind of ruined a lot of people's dreams. They want a new kitchen like we're putting in the show so they can raise their family there. They don't care about their house values now. So it kind of gave them a new mindset, and it was because of the show that inspired them to make their house, their dream. Your mortgage says 30 years. You're going to live there a while.
What was the strangest reaction you've gotten as you go to somebody's house?
The strangest reaction I get all kinds of strange reactions. I mean, I meet all walks of life. Doing what I do with the music.
But you get fans?
Crazy fans. They love what I do. They're very inspired, and they'll just tell me their whole story about how they've ripped out their kitchen, or even some of my friends, they're like, oh my God, man, we watched your show, me and my wife, and now I'm doing my first renovation, and this sucks. I want out. I'm way past budget. I can't do this. How do you do it?
But this isn't music related. You don't get a strange reaction from being Vanila Ice?
You mean with the music? What do you mean? Because these houses are my money. I do them with my own. I don't walk up to somebody and do other people's houses.
But with your level of fame, that somebody is seeing you, that they remember seeing you back in the 80s. So they may see your show, but do you get people that look at you now and look at you the way you were back in the 80s?
90s. But
90s.
Close enough. We're old.
Yeah.
No, they do. They... now they're it's setting in for them. So they're getting used to it. They want me to come renovate their houses. I get a lot of people lined up and say, hey, we want you to come renovate our house.
But how do they get in touch with you to do
that? They would have to go through the network, DIY.com.
And how do you pick what house you do?
I buy the houses myself. They're my money. I buy them and I sell them. So it's my risk. And they just film me doing what I've done for a long time. So I actually go out and find the houses myself. And usually I get them through tax liens or whatnot. I sell a real estate course, believe it or not. I've done very, very, very well through real estate.
Made more money in real estate than music?
I make a lot in both. I sold 160 million records, and it's, I bought back my publishing, so that allowed me to go into the real estate and be able to invest in it. But
you still tour.
I still tour. I'm doing 105 shows, tour in America, 79 in Europe right now. It's the I Love the 90s tour with Salt and Peppa. You got Color Me Bad.
You're performing tonight at Webster Bank Arena in Bridgeport.
Right around the corner.
The I Love the 90s tour.
Put your dancing shoes on. Come join us.
I can't. I hurt my knee.
Well,
or I would be dancing.
You can hop around. I've seen you.
Hop around. I used to jump around. Now I hop around. Hop around.
Bring your daughter. Bring them. Everybody. Come on over.
Favorite artist growing up was who?
My favorite artist growing up. I mean, it varies, because...
Well, who changed you?
Hip-hop wise, I mean, I used to listen to Biggie and all that. I was involved in the whole East Coast, West Coast thing, kind of underground a little bit.
Were you on the East Coast?
No, I was in the South. It was
I know.
funny.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How would you get brought in?
Because of the... well, with rap music is very... Gangsta. It always has been, and it kind of always will be. So that kind of, when I would go to Los Angeles, I would run into certain people that had a lot of control in the hip hop community.
So you'd run into Suge Knight.
Hey, let's just throw it out there. But, you know.
Did he scare you?
I mean, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Did he try to scare you?
No, he wasn't. He was actually nice. It was strange how the stories get twisted and turned. They take a little bit of truth and they polish it up. No, he was nice. He would show up at Benihana's and I'd like, how did he know I was here? I just got off the plane. He's eating my food. I was okay. And he says, hey, just saying hi. Welcome to town. Okay, see you later. Didn't know why he came by to say hi or anything. Don't know anything.
But how did black artists treat you?
Great. That's where I'm. Listen,
like Tupac or Biggie or those guys.
Oh, good friends of mine. I was friends with Tupac way before he even blew up. When he was with
NWA?
Digital Underground, NWA. I was the opening act. Listen, I was the opening act for the opening act for the opening act for the opener for the opener when we did the Stop the Violence tour with NWA, Stetsa Sonic, EPMD, Sir Mix-a-Lot. So I was that kid out there, and they were great friends. They embraced me, man. And my whole crowd was always black. I never thought I'd ever play for white people until my music went number one. And when it went number one, all of a sudden my crowds I went from smaller crowds to huge stadiums in rap music. It just hadn't been done like that before. So for me, I was just like, whoa. And here I am on tour now with, I think it was MC Hammer, and it's just gone mainstream. And it was us because it was my record that was first rap record to go number one. So it was pretty phenomenal how it just, we brought it kind of out of the hood and into the mainstream.
The importance of video to that number one hit was what?
Well, Ice Ice Baby came out.
Yeah.
I was 16 years old when I wrote that song, and it didn't really come out for 3 years later. We didn't have enough money to buy a video, so I had to borrow some money to make the video, and we just, kind of scrounged it together and put it out. It became the number one video on MTV ever, probably the cheapest video ever played on MTV. But it was an amazing phenomenon, and when the Ninja Rap came out is when it really set in and put the concrete in, because everybody like you and I grew up to the Ninja Turtles, but everybody today is growing up to them. It's huge. It's bigger than, you would never think Star Wars would be topped or Star Trek would be topped because, being us, we kind of grew up to that, and that's like the big phenomenon. Well, Ninja Turtles has tripled, both of those together combined. It's amazing. They have a whole row, when you go into the department stores or whatever, you go in there and you see Ninja Turtle aisle. It's crazy how big it's gotten.
Well, how big? Give people an idea of how big you were at the peak of your career.
160 million records and still selling. My record that was released 20-something years ago, I with To the Extreme, has every year has sold over 2-3 million copies every year. Still, since it's coming out, just this year alone is already probably 3 or 4 million. It's crazy phenomenon to the point where most rappers that everybody think is big in America, there's another step. It's called the world, and I never thought that rap music would leave America. And all of a sudden I'm playing in Russia, China. I've played in Muslim countries. And I mean, it's crazy where it'll take you. And the people don't even speak English. And then I get letters and stuff back talking about, I learned to speak English on your music. By the way, what is a gauge in a 9? And did you solve the problem?
Yeah, what was the problem that you were supposed to solve?
Any problem. It's just being positive. If there's a problem, solve it.
I see. I thought I didn't know it was the DJ or the D-Shay.
D-Shay was a name of one of my DJs, not the original DJ, which was Earthquake. But
so check out the hook.
Why my DJ revolves.
Oh, DJ. I thought D-Shay.
D-Shay is in one of the lines. There's 3 choruses, 3 hooks.
There you go. Can we address the...
I love how you go into depth. You're like, that's...
Can we address the Madonna dating
when we come back? I heard you backstage.
You bet. Can we take a break here?
Let's take a break.
Because Madonna doesn't date.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what year we're talking about.
Just save it. We'll save it.
We'll save it.
In the 90s.
We'll save it.
Because you were big time. You were big time there. You're probably Central Park West there saying hello to Madonna at the crib there.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yes, we'll find out. We'll continue. By the way, Vanila Ice, there's a couple of things to plug here. DIY, the Vanila Ice Project, that starts again another season 7, and that's Saturday at 10 Eastern. And he does the work. I think that's the one thing that people don't realize. It's not one of those where somebody does it and then you sort of come in at the very end and tidy things up. He gets his hands dirty, and he's got a great crew there. Your ninjas there helping you. Tonight in Bridgeport, the Webster Bank Arena, I Love the 90s tour with Ice, Salt, and Peppa. Doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 7:30. Back with more from Vanilla Ice after this. The Vanilla Ice Project back for a 7th season. All new season starts on the DIY Network coming up Saturday at 10 Eastern. Ice also performing tonight locally about 25 minutes from here. Bridgeport, Connecticut, Webster Bank Arena. The I Love the 90s tour. Doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 7:30. Salt and Peppa is on the marquee with, with Ice.
Oh, it's great. We got Coolio. We got Color Me Bad. We've got Rob Bass, and I mean, it's a really, you'll dance like it's a Zumba class for 4 hours straight.
Yeah.
Oh, you just reliving your, everybody's a teenager when you come to these concerts.
We were just talking about during the live look-in that we have, rap is based on sampling.
Yeah.
Down through the years.
Yep.
And you said you bought back all your publishing rights.
Yeah.
But you were being sued by David Bowie and Queen.
Yeah.
Explain what was happening here. Why were you being sued for sampling their music?
And the music before me wasn't. Because before me, I think the most sold record was like Run DMC or some, which was huge for hip hop to go gold, because that's 500,000 units. But when you're selling 1 million records a day, like my record was, I mean, there just wasn't enough money for them to come after all those samples. And now, since my record was selling and making a lot of money, I mean, they opened up a whole building downtown New York just on sample clearances all of a sudden. So I was kind of that.
But you were sampling David Bowie, Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Under pressure.
Come on, of course.
Okay. But wait, I thought you tried to explain that, no, I was saying... Dun, 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 dun,
yeah,
dun, dun.
I was being a
that was
jackass.
Oh.
You got to understand, I was jackass before Johnny Knoxville. I'm a clown. I love to I don't take myself too serious. Okay. I don't take anything too serious.
But it cost you, though.
Huh? Well, that was also in the middle of the lawsuit. And it actually worked out well, because the lawsuit... was a lot of money. So it was more, it was better for me I actually learned about publishing because of the lawsuit, because that's where I ended up actually buying the song, because it was actually David Bowie and Queen.
Yeah.
And so they didn't have the actual rights to it. So I went to Brian May and I actually bought the song. And
the guitar player for Queen.
Yeah, but I actually own the song. So I bought it like Michael Jackson owns the Beatles. It was cheaper than the lawsuit. So Under Pressure, Ice Ice Baby, same difference. They're both my
songs. So it's
songs.
yours now.
Yeah, it's been since the lawsuit. And I tried to buy some other sampling and stuff like that. I spent, I don't know, $8 million on sample clearances. And now I own them. So it worked out well. And I'm like, dang, that was a waste of money. Why did I do that? And then all of a sudden the checks come in and I go, oh, hey, it was just a delay. It's coming back to me now.
Did you ever meet Bowie?
No, I would have loved to. I did meet Brian May, though. Yeah, he came to a show. He said, good job,
Yeah, now that he's getting paid.
Oh, they love it, yeah. I'm a huge fan of all of them, though, so it's great,
Who did you meet where you went, wow?
Well, you were talking about Madonna. I mean, she came to my show here in New York City, and I didn't even know she was there, and my DJ was like, bro, I think that's Madonna in the crowd, and I'm like looking through the lights, and I can barely see, and that was... I'm like, get out of here. She had her entourage there, I mean, if I would have known, I would have like triggered something like put on, like a virgin or something silly, because I am a jackass. I would have had the DJ play it or something. But no, it was funny, and it was kind of surreal at the same time.
But did you date Madonna?
Yeah, I dated her.
For how long?
A little over a year.
Were you in love?
No.
How does that come about, though, that she goes to your show?
She came after me, man. She's aggressive. She wanted me.
Well, wait a minute. Give me that day.
She was much older, so I was like, whoa, what's going on with this, And
she get your number?
She came into the dressing room right after the show. Said,
that night?
Great show. And then she grabbed me, and we were having cocktails that night.
Anything else?
You want to know details?
Yeah.
I can't do that out of the respect for the ladies in my life. It's just not gentlemanly.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
And it was a long time ago. I'm like, dang, are you still talking about Madonna and Suge Knight? You're going 20-something years back.
Yeah, but they were great stories, though, because the story with Suge is they were holding you over a balcony.
Right, which never happened.
Did
I sat there and talked on the balcony, and that's where they polished up the story. All of a sudden, now they polish it up like he's hanging me over, and my change is like, come on, he's hanging me by my feet or something.
Now, what was he threatening you over?
He didn't threaten me. He just came in and said, "Listen, this is my city. You want to play? You got to pay. Everybody else does." He ran off the roster of all these people.
Well, that's kind of threatening you.
He goes, I got Eddie Murphy. I've got Arsenio Hall. I've got Dan Patrick on here.
Yeah.
I've got all. They all pay me, and this is when they come to my city. And I go, oh, well, I guess I got to pay you then.
Did you pay him?
Yeah. And I had no idea, but I understood who he was, what was going on. He didn't have to hang me from no balcony or slap me around. It never happened. In fact, it was really weird because he was nice. He was actually nice. He was never mean one time ever to me. He was always nice to me. And it was really strange because he's huge. And
but how does this story get out that they're hanging you over a balcony because they want you to sign over?
Because I went to he was in my room. I checked in and he was already in there. And
how did he get in there?
Yeah, he knows people. Same way he found out I was at Benihana's or wherever else he let me know that I was at. He was kind of letting me know, I know where you're at, anywhere. If I get off the airplane, he knew where I was at. There's informants, I guess, he's got behind the computers everywhere, letting him know, I guess, everybody's steps. Who knows? Who cares? I did the right thing.
You survived.
Hey, listen, I survived. I'm still here. I ended up with way more than I ever predicted. And, I'm not bitter about anything. It's funny how people think like I'd be bitter. I've made great investments. I have a TV show. I have a family and, life. I have a real life, and that's it. I mean.
What kind of car you drive?
Which one?
give me the one that I would.
I have quite a few. I have collections. The one that you would probably like anybody.
Like the first one that I walk into the garage or warehouse.
Well, I have the 5.0.
You still have that?
I have the 5.0, which tops all my Ferraris, and I've got an old Cadillac that I got out of that I was talking with Nick Nolte about. I bought the one out of 48 Hours. Where he punched Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
I bought that car
Was
out
that
of
a light
Hollywood
blue?
Cars. Yes. I had it restored. It was a pile because I don't know if you remember, they were jumping railroad tracks and doing burnouts in it. So and I'm talking to Nick Nolte on the set of, I think it was Ridiculous 6. And he was telling me a story. He goes, true story. I reached over and it calls for me not to look and look straight at the camera and punch right where I punch Eddie when he sits in the seat for stealing my badge. And he sits down and he says, I leaned over and I punched him and I actually really hit him. And he says, true story, the bodyguards came off the thing, came and tackled me on the set and started beating me up. And Eddie had to come get him off of him. Nick told me a great story. And every time I sit down in that car now, I just think of that story. I'm like, this is so crazy.
Nick Nolte's a character, man.
Oh, he's
and still alive.
The best.
All right. Best rapper now is who?
I hate to say it, but I mean, if you go off, I mean, Drake is killing it right now, above everybody, above Jay-Z, above Lil Wayne or whoever you could say.
Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, Kendrick is kind of a close second right now to probably Drake. They're up there.
Are you okay if somebody samples your song that you sampled?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I own it. They'll have to pay.
Of course they will.
Sample clearances.
Okay. The number one question you get about home improvement or doing construction is what?
Will you come do my house?
Okay. Aside from that, is there an overriding one that you get?
A lot of people say, what is one of the best, what is your best project? Like the kitchen, the backyard, the swimming
Which
pool?
one adds the most money to the
value? In Florida, I would have to say the backyard, the swimming pool, because it's constantly, you don't have, seasons. So you're outside year round. It's important. And they make them like oasis, the trees, the palm trees, everything. Aside from the outside, but just like normal house stuff, I mean, your kitchen. I mean, I put in Swarovski crystals all around the handles.
Oh, wow.
We've got vanilla glazing cabinetry and onyx countertops.
What's the most you ever put into a house?
I just put in a couple million into this new project. That's just on top of what I paid $2 million for it, and I put $2 million into it. So I got $4 million into the whole project. And this is 3 acres direct ocean. And it was a ratty house that was in the 70s, okay? But on a beautiful piece of property on the ocean, direct ocean. And 1,000 feet straight across the ocean. Beautiful. And this ratty house was falling apart. So I came in and I rebuilt the entire house and turned it into a modern Polynesian. So it's all glass.
Oh, this is going to be on the episode on
This
Saturday.
is it, yeah. Panoramic view
Look at
of the
that.
ocean from everywhere. Put a hibachi grill in it with fiber optic lights going in it. Turkish marble and just, I mean, incredible. 12 shower heads hit you from every angle. I mean, just you get it all. You know, it's luxury.
Can you give me a little taste? You want to give me a Ninja, Go Ninja, or give me a little Ice Baby?
All right, stop. There you go.
Do I have to pay for it?
Yeah, I get paid for that. Come on, how
Give
much
me
you
just
got?
a taste of it. Come on.
Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with a brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly. Flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. It's Vanilla right here on the Dan Patrick Show.
Great to see you. Great to see you, Rob.
good to
Thank
be
you
here,
for
brother.
coming in. Once again, the DIY Network, we watch it all the time. Vanilla Ice Project this Saturday at 10 Eastern, and then tonight, the I Love the 90s tour at the Webster Bank Arena in Bridgeport.